Good morning, AC Brea. We are, I think, in week 6 of the shutdown. According to my records, we started, the first day we were not on the field was March 12th. And here we are, April 23rd, and still no time in sight that we think we're going to get back on the field. So hopefully it is sometime in May, could be in June, could be a couple of months from now. We don't know yet. However, we are still keeping strong. We are still connecting with you guys, and we still want to provide good content so that you can practice stay at home as well as practice getting better in your game. Got a couple new things coming up this week for our fresh links, as well as some new content coming to our YouTube channel in the next week. Before we get to the fresh links, I want to let you know about a couple things that are coming up that will be great resources for you. I had a long interview with our goalkeeper director, Kevin Crowley, and that will be up next week. Kevin Crowley is a licensed physical therapist, works at St. Jude in Brea, and he's worked on several of our AC Brea athletes, and including myself, in helping us rehab and recover. So we talked about the functional movement screen and injury prevention, and it's going to be a great one. Tomorrow, I'm going to have an interview with my good friend Matt Robinson, who runs the Factory Performance and Fitness place in Brea. Several of our AC Brea teams go to him on a regular basis, and he does all of the supplemental training, works on nutrition with our athletes, works on the foundation, movement, and pure performance for our athletes so they can fill in the gaps that they aren't getting on 2 days a week of training out on the field with our coaches. So be looking out for those 2 interviews that'll be coming out soon. All right, so I want to get to some new fresh links that I have for you this week. There's not a ton of links, but just a few things that I've curated for you over the past week that will help you with everything at home. So the first thing I got is a couple international things that are from YouTube. So I'm going to share my screen here so that you can jump on and see them. All right, the first one you see here is from Valencia, a team in Spain, and there is a stay-at-home thing that they've done for their players. And as you can see, it is in Spanish. However, if you speak Spanish, great. But as you can see, also there are subtitles in English. So this is a session from Valencia that talks about nutrition advice for youth players. So this is a great one here for you guys to use. So there's all kinds of stuff in here. All right, I'm going to pause that one. So again, nutrition for youth players from the Professional Academy in Valencia in Spain. The next one is a home training session, again in another language. This is from FC Schalke, which is a team in Germany. They play in the first division of the German Bundesliga. Some interesting facts here. One of our former AC Brea players, Matt Hoppy, actually plays for the Schalke Academy. So I don't think he's on this video, but there's a little connection here. I'm going to hit play on this so you can kind of see what it looks like. So these are youth things for the Schalke youth players and academy. So if you know German, great, you can translate here, but it takes you through a series of exercises, balance things that you can work on. Again, you can see there's an English word here. Highly recommend this. This isn't the only one they have, but it's a home training thing that you can see for the players from Schalke. So there's some basic stuff here, but it might be good if you want to increase and do more at home. So these are the 2 training things we have, one nutritional and one footwork thing. One of the best things to recognize about the home training exercises is that go off the screen here, but one of the best things about some of these home training exercises is you're not going to get like some monumental new amazing stuff. It's a lot of it is pretty basic stuff, just to show you that at top German and Spanish and English clubs around the world, they're using the same training methods that we're using here at AC Brea. A lot of our coaches are pulling out. So you can be confident in knowing that you're getting the full use of football techniques that we curate from around the world. But it's good to see that others are doing it across the world. All right, so I'm going to get to the next item here. Now we're going to move on to a movie that I have for you guys. This is called The Workers' Cup. This is a trailer, and I believe this is going to be in Netflix. No, it's on Amazon Prime. I've been bringing you a lot of Amazon Prime things here, but this is the story of the people who are working in Qatar to get the stadiums built and ready. So it's a really in-depth documentary story about everything that's going on in Qatar in preparation for the World Cup in 2022. So this could be a really enjoyable watch for you guys to get a little knowledge about what's going on around the world, how FIFA works. But again, so this should be an interesting show for you guys to watch. So I'd highly recommend checking out the Workers' Cup. Again, this link will be in the fresh links that you'll get through the AC Brea Team Snap if you're a member, but also you can see the links here. The next one is a fun one. This is, let me rewind it here. This is the Pro Assistant Referee Offside Test from 2015. So I know some of the offsides has changed, but this is a cool one to watch to see if you really understand the offside rule, offside or onside. So I'll let you check out this the first clip here, and you can take a test to determine if you know if it's onsides or offsides. That is a tough one. I'm sure if it was your team, you'd say it's offside. If it's the other team, you'd say it's onside. So there's all kinds of clips here. I think there's 25 clips. So you can kind of check it out and determine if the guy is onside or offside. So at the end, it will give you a response. I'm not going to give away here right now. So some of these are a little bit easier than the others. But yeah, you can check this out and test your knowledge on what is onside, what is offside. So that'll be a good one for you guys to check out, get a little learning about refereeing out there. The next one is something I'm looking forward to. This is just an article about an upcoming book that is a biography of Arsene Wenger. So it says here, Arsenal fans given first look at Arsene Wenger's new book on his 22-year reign. So this is an autobiography about Arsene Wenger. If you don't know Arsene Wenger, he's one of the longest running and most successful coaches ever in the English Premier League, as well as probably around the world. He was the only coach to ever coach to an undefeated season in the English Premier League. He's a French born, and he did amazing things at Arsenal in his reign there. So I did read the Alex Ferguson autobiography. It was amazing. It really impacted my approach to coaching and managing a club. So I'm really looking to this book from Arsene Wenger. So yeah, be on the lookout for that book. I don't have a link for where you can buy it, but I'm sure you guys can find it if you just look for it on Amazon or wherever the books are. The next two articles are going to be interesting articles based on what's happening in U.S. youth soccer right now. So in my last one, I think I mentioned that the U.S. Soccer Federation has basically done away with the U.S. Development Academy. On the boys' side, the Development Academy started, I believe, in 2000. 2007 or 8. It had 11 or 12 years running. So they dropped that program. The Girls Academy program started in 2017, so it only ran for about 3 years, and they're dropping that as well. So this guy here, Christian Lavers, he founded and started the ECNL. The ECNL is going to become the #1 national league in the United States. It has been on the girls' side for a long time, but most of the top boys clubs are going to go to the ECNL. So just to give you an idea of what is going on nationally, so here's a good article interview with Christian Lavers. So again, this is a shifting and changing culture right now. There's going to be changes and shifts happening right now. For us here at AC Brea, we're not making any shifts. We don't need to right now. We're pretty stable in where we're at in the leagues we're playing in. Our partnership with Golden State and other clubs that I am connected with, I'm definitely in communication with many of those clubs that have these national leagues and teams. So we are going to stay up on the ball with that, but it's always great for you guys to learn as well too. So there's going to be a link for this this article as well. So another article is Bernie James. He is the director of coaching for Crossfire Premier. Crossfire Premier is one of the most successful youth clubs in the country. They are just east of Seattle. One of the interesting things about Crossfire Premier is that they have had a long time lawsuit going with U.S. Soccer. One of their former players, DeAndre Yedlin, was a player who got from Crossfire Premier, got into the MLS, and then he ended up making it to the national team and then on to Premier League. He's played on a couple different teams in England. I'm not going to get too much into it, but they are a major player in U.S. soccer, and this guy, Bernie James, has done a tremendous job with his club. So it's just a real interesting article to read on the process that they're going through with their club up in Seattle in dealing with the dropping of the academy, as well as what they're doing and hoping to see done from soccer in the United States. So yeah, that's a good one to read here. The next one coming up is coming from the coaching manual. There's a couple guys, actually a couple of them that run this program live in Southern California. They work for AYSO United actually, and they have a great a video here from about Landon Donovan developing a club philosophy. So I've been a big fan of Landon Donovan. He's got a brand new team in San Diego called San Diego Loyal. So this is a webinar that I believe you can watch for free. I'll have a link for you guys here to watch this webinar with Landon Donovan and his staff and the brand new pro team called San Diego Loyal. So here is the webinar here, and it's about an hour long. So just really interesting stuff talking about a new pro club and developing that and their philosophy and what's behind what they're trying to do at this organization. All right, the next one is another webinar that is actually happening right now, but you guys should be able to access it after the fact. This is from a U.S. Club Soccer. There is a webinar right here on the prevalence of ACL injuries in female athletes. Dr. Holly Sivers and Granelli and Emma Egizi. So Dr. Holly Granelli is one of the persons who developed the FIFA 11 Plus program. So I'm a big fan of that. And this young lady is a is in a commit to UCLA. So, and she actually played here in Southern California for Beach FC. She's recovering from an ACL injury right now. So it should be some good information here. And the reason why I wanted to include this article is because this webinar is because of the over hour and a half conversation I had with Kevin Crowley about injury prevention and things we can do to focus on building a strong structural foundation in your body and your athlete or yourself for injury prevention through the FMS. So watching this webinar, as well as listening to the Kevin Crowley interview, should be some good learning for you guys, and you should get a lot of good insight there. As you can see, Thursday, April 23rd, 9:30 a.m. I'm actually recording this right now at 10 a.m. on Thursday. So this is going on right now. I'm going to jump back to it and watch this later, but I highly recommend this one, and you'll be able to watch it after the fact as well too. Another one on the women's side, I'm a big fan of the Men in Blazers. They have a great newsletter. I pull a lot of my content from there, but they have a podcast called the Women in Blazers podcast, where they look at the U.S. game. This one came out, October 2019, but it's a good look back to what's going on in the NWSL, and so it might be a good watch for you guys if you want to get caught up in women's soccer. The reason why I wanted to include a little bit more on the women's side, obviously it's an important part of our club, but there's a lot going on in women's football here in the United States with a lawsuit from the women's national team and women's players suing the U.S. Soccer Federation, as well as the unfortunate fact that when Donald Trump had his meeting with all the professional leagues in the United States, he actually left out the NWSL in the meeting, which is a huge oversight by his part because of so much that the women's game is doing for young female and male athletes in our country, just to show what we've accomplished in this country in pursuing in women equality with men, and especially in the world of sports, and what a representation it's been around the country or around the world. We've been a leader in that arena, but there's always a lot of work to be done. There's always struggles. So I just want to support the women's game here and encourage you guys to check out the Women in Blazers podcast. Speaking of podcast, there's one more I wanted to share with you. This is called the North End Podcast. So in the links, I'm going to send a link to one for iTunes as well as one to Spotify, depending on where you get your podcasts. So the reason for this podcast right here is kind of a random one, but I don't see the details right here, but the purpose for this one, I would love to have you guys listen to it, because this episode 82, The Kids Are All Right, the guest of honor on this podcast was our very own JP Wilson. JP had a lot of depth and great insight into looking at the youth academy system in England. There's a lot of cool information here, and you can really see that JP is a true student, fan of the game. He knows his stuff, and he had some great insight to offer in terms of the development of youth players in England and getting a chance to play for the first team, their first teams, and the value that they have in those players. So great, informative podcast. Great to hear JP's voice out there, and I encourage you guys to listen to this one here. And the last one is just one for fun. I thought this was really cool. Pescara Football Club out of Italy adopts Italian boys shirt design. So he drew up this shirt for his favorite soccer team, Pescara, submitted it submitted it on a contest, and they actually are going to use this jersey in their 2020-21 season in Italy. So I thought it was really cool. I really like this design, and just sweet to see a city get behind their club and a club get behind their city and using this for their team. So all right, so there you have it. Just a few fresh links for you guys today. As you can see, I go all over the world, all over the internet to curate some good stuff. Again, I wanted to keep it a little bit short, maybe something for everyone this week. Some stuff to enjoy, some books to read, some sessions to learn. For me, I'm sure it's for you. It's been an overwhelming time to be home and to not be with you guys on the field, not to be with my coaches face to face, not to interact with the teams and the players and the families, and I'm really missing it. but I just wanted to encourage you guys to continue to stay focused, to set goals. As we're coming into the end of April, yeah, let's look to see what we can do to set goals for the month of May, so that we can have a trajectory, so that we can be prepared when it is time to come back, and we don't have any regrets when we're ready to come back and get on the field together. I know we're all longing and yearning for one another. We miss one another. I definitely encourage, like I said last time, if you are feeling good, reach out to a friend, a teammate, a coach, encourage them. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling low, don't hesitate to reach out to somebody and let them know that you're struggling, so that we can care for you and love on you and encourage you. And we want to stay committed to one another through this time. We want to build our community in a new way. It's not ideal. We're adjusting as a club to offer whatever we can, so that you guys have the best case in terms of being ready on the field. And for us, it's not all about the game of soccer. It's not all about increasing your performance. It's about our core values. And as you see here on our shirt, commitment, competence, and the other three are down below. But I'm going to be releasing some more stuff in the next couple of weeks about our core values and where they came from. So again, there's our fresh links for the last month of April. I'll see you guys next week about the beginning of May. And I hope you guys have a great week. Don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. I hope you guys are enjoying these, and I hope to see you guys all soon on the field. Love you all. Stay safe, stay at home, be encouraged, and continue to set goals so that when we get back on the field, we have something to celebrate. Bye for now.